Well, just wanted to make sure that to mention that we're here with the um, October 6th, year 2022 on a Thursday, actually morning, afternoon almost, continuing with the tradition of public access and the tradition of the Alo Alo show that's been on there since 1984. Some say even 1980. So I wouldn't be surprised if earlier, not to fail to mention the contribution by Fraser Dougherty, Francis Ann, and the likes of you out there that make it your business to enhance and fortify the concept of public access. And with us, an old, new guest, Reggie Cornelia. Reggie, good to see you.
An old guest.
Yeah, and at least I'm relieved because of your condition. You won't be able to talk too much.
No, you have me. You have me at your mercy now. I'm not practicing for a role in The Godfather. I got a dental adventure going on, a dental episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just dragging on and on and on. And
I hope that
it's
is
a
going
long,
to be
boring story.
Is
Yeah.
it going to be resolved?
Yeah,
soon?
I hope so soon. Yeah.
Okay, good.
They're going to put in. Right now, what happens is there's a space between a couple of teeth, and it makes my teeth are now trying to chew on my tongue, and it's caused some problems with my tongue.
Yeah.
And,
I don't blame them.
There's a lot of people who are happy about that.
but this is actually a great scenario to read an extra experimental poetry. It will go hand in hand. So you don't have to break your teeth to read my poetry.
I don't think I may up to one of your poems.
But no, I know. I'm not gonna. It's getting worse and worse, by the way.
No, you were, last time we did together. You had one. Remember, it was, I don't remember the topic, but it was very coherent. It was not so far out that I was bewildered at the end.
Yeah.
By the way, you're a friend of mine. You're a mutual friend of ours. You know Tommy LaGrassa.
Yeah.
Well, at Jason Spielberg's funeral service the other day, you gotta get him to send you this poem. He wrote a poem that he had written.
Yeah.
Previously.
To him, and he never got to give it to him.
He never got to deliver it, but the poem was really an excellent poem.
Yes, it was.
It was very well done. Oh yeah, that's right. You were
yes.
there. Yeah, it was a very, very good poem.
Yes.
Speaking of poems, the poem that I should come on and read this even with this thing all the time, because it's never been needed more than it is right now because of what's going on in this crazy country of ours. These people deliberately trying to divide us into this group and that group instead of the one group that we all should belong to, which is Americans. It's remember that we used to end every show with the land where hate should die.
Yes.
Yeah, we should.
I think we should start and finish this show.
I think maybe we should start
and finish. Yeah, definitely.
No, or just start it anyway. Why don't you read it, because I got this.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. It's The Land Where Hate Should Die.
By a high school teacher from Boston.
By Dennis A. McCarthy. He was born 1870 and died 1931. Actually, he was 61, pretty old for the time. This is the land where hate should die. No feuds of faith, no spleen of race, no darkly brooding fear should try beneath our flag to find a place. Lo, every people where here has sent its sons to answer freedom's call. Their lifeblood is the strong cement that builds and binds the nation's wall. This is the land where hate should die, though fear to me my faith enshrine.
Oh, dear to me.
Yeah, I don't know why I said though. Though dear to me my faith enshrine. Thank you. I serve my country well when I respect beliefs that are not mine. He little loves his land who'd cast upon his neighbor's word a doubt, or cite the wrongs of ages past, from present rights to to bar him out. This is the land where hate should die. This is the land where strife should cease, where foul, suspicious fear should fly before our flag of light and peace. Then let us purge from poisoned thought that service to the state we give, and so be worthy as we ought of this great land in which we live.
Yeah.
That's the more you read it, the more you read it. It's so sweet, man. It's really well the choice of words, even the rhyme, and
it's so contemporarily appropriate.
It's probably so good because it's just an anonymous poet that doesn't try to write a perfect poem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just, and for the time, it could easily have been written at any point in the last several years. But there is poison out there, and it's been put into the minds of our.
Is that the good old book that you always...
No, this is brand new. This is written by an ex-military, of a military veteran. I think he was I know he was an Iraq veteran. He's a friend of Lee Zeldin's. And he's on Fox News or something or other, but Pete Hegseth. I forget whether he was Special Forces or... He was in something serious. And the one thing he did in this book is mention a guy that I have mentioned over and over to you as probably having done more damage to the young people of this country than anybody, including George Soros. There's a guy named Howard Zinn, who fortunately died a few years ago. He
Did you say fortunately?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He put a poison pill into our education system, and it's called his book, his textbook.
But I thought that you promote tolerance, no? That even if someone
not
has
tolerance
a different...
with somebody who's trying to undermine my country.
Yeah, but the thing is that even if he has a different thought, I thought that you embrace that, no?
No.
Well, you made me believe that that's the case.
No, I don't.
So
I don't embrace.
What has changed?
Well, no, because he practiced exactly what that poem asked us not to practice. Every chapter of his book is a relentless diatribe against American institutions, values, traditions, and it's used as a textbook right here in East Hampton. And when I asked one of the history teachers why this book was being used, especially for the AP history classes, he said to me, well, they have to know the other side, don't they? And I said, yeah, it's all well and good to study the communist message, but where's our message? What textbook are you using that counters this? And he promised me he would get back to me on that, but he never did. This book, unfortunately, The People's History of the United States, I call it Zindoctrination, is used in over 70% of American high schools and colleges, and it's pure poison. I know people my age and younger, they're wandering around. Why are so many young people willing to go out in the street in 2020 and burn down cities and burn down whole sections of cities and invade police stations and public offices and churches and which they did. People, they talk about January 6th, which is laughable compared to what they did during 2020.
It's taking place now as we speak, no? The trial and everything.
It's not a trial. It's not a trial.
It's an inquiry or whatever you want to call it.
No, it's not even. It's not a legitimate inquiry.
So what is it then?
It's a show. It's a Soviet-style show trial. There are no Republicans appointed by Republicans on that committee. The 3 Republicans who are on there, all of whom, by the way, are not going to be in the Congress again this year, because 2 of them lost their primaries and one of them decided not to run. Liz Cheney and Kinzinger, that sick joke of a congressman. Anyway, there were no Republicans on that committee, so there was no. Trump's side of the story, the people who were there, had no chance to counter what they were saying. It was one ferocious lie after another.
What about the defense?
There was no defense. That's what I'm saying. There was no. You said a trial. It wasn't a trial. It was a Soviet show trial where only one side was allowed to speak. And of course, shift.
So you
shift
believe
brains.
that nothing happened in January 6th? You know, like nothing
See,
that we
now,
should.
you gotta stop using that.
So what do you
liberal
believe
trick.
that
You
took
put
place
words,
there?
I was there, as you know.
What do you believe?
for-
You weren't at where all
wasn't
the
at the riot.
hooligans were. You
the
were.
riot. It was.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, if
What do
Trump-
you think happened?
What happened was that a peaceful rally of over 500, 600,000 people on a cold,
Was
blustery...
hijacked by a small group of nuts, out of control individuals.
Yeah, let's talk about this, who hijacked it. There was a small group that went there, and there was a very...
Small
probably
group is 200-300.
Yeah.
The 400-500.
200 or 300, 400, maybe.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
But let me finish. A couple, at least...
Especially if they're armed.
There were no weapons found, and these media hyenas, jackals, vermin, keep saying that 5 people were killed there. There were only 2 people killed. Both of them were unarmed, female Trump supporters. One of them is a 16-year Air Force veteran. They were both killed by the Capitol Police.
But they have their names available of 5 people
but
got killed.
where's the investigation on that? Where is the investigation? Because
What makes you believe that there's no investigation or wasn't?
there is no investigation. The policeman who shot, her name just went out of my head now. It's on film. He shot her in the back of the shoulder. There was no provocation for her. She was unarmed. She was actually climbing out of a window away from him. And she was smiling because something had just happened. In fact, she had just tried to stop somebody from doing something. There were provocateurs in there. We know for a fact that there were infiltrators, probably working for the FBI, or at least attached to the FBI, who stirred up that riot. See, now you got... Sorry.
So now maybe I can continue. It's falling apart.
Anyway, but that riot, that so-called riot. First of all, if Trump had organized.
No, but what I mean, the people inside the House of Representatives or the Senate, whatever. What were
they were invited in there, but half of them were invited in by the cops who were escorting them in.
Yeah, because the cops were okay. Let me ask you a question.
First of all,
what were they doing there?
Well, they went there to
expressing lawlessness.
No.
And verbally knowing that the whole probably country is watching them. It's not like it's a secret of what happened. You can Google it and watch from beginning to end what happened that day.
I didn't see.
So anybody who wants to educate themselves can do it instantly.
Yeah, I hope you do watch. You will see this woman, Boylan, getting beaten with a stick by a cop and then dragged away, never to be seen again.
They should all be beaten like this. Anyone who ended up in the Capitol doing what they did, you think they should be just like be?
So she should be.
And those who welcome them also should go to jail. The policeman
and female who's lying on the ground, gasping for breath.
But why are you starting from the end? Start from the beginning.
No, you did it. You started saying she should be beaten. I say that if you're chasing a criminal, and that criminal is up to no good, running away from you, and you know that they're posing danger, what are you doing? I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the herd of people who made it their business to go and think that they can succeed in doing. Also, just to think about it, what were they thinking? Did they think that they can prevail in doing what they wanted to do? It's ridiculous. So a woman.
It's the concept that was hurt here.
Please,
the value that was messed with.
You sound like one of these left-wing nuts, and I know you're not that nuts.
I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm just really common sense.
You're repeating.
I'm very common sense.
There are some people. First of all, the things they did. A guy with horns.
Okay, why did Trump not say at some point, guys, what are you doing? Stop it.
No.
Just like that, simply.
I heard what Trump said. I was there.
No, after it happened, after it actually started happening.
I had no idea what was going on. First of all, if Trump had organized that,
so he was made aware by people close to him, and they asked him to stop it, and he didn't. He could have.
He could not.
He could have said, "Guys, stop it! What are you doing?"
He could not have stopped it. He was nowhere near the thing when it happened.
It doesn't have to be near, but to publish a call for the people
No,
to
I'm
say
not.
this is not the way to do it. What are you doing?
No idea. Nobody
He was
had
informed.
Nobody had any idea what was going on.
He was informed at some point that it's really bad and he needs to do something
First of all,
about
it wasn't really bad. Some of the people were invited, as I said, they were escorted in to the building by the police. Some of them were given like a tour. Some apparently most of all
So
the police.
two wrongs make right? I don't understand what you're trying
What
to
are
tell
you
me.
talking about?
That the police welcomed them in. So the police are criminals also.
They were.
So-
The criminal acts were committed by the police, including 2 murders. They murdered 2 unarmed women.
Would you have gone in?
No.
Of course not, because you're smart and because you know what's right and what's wrong.
No, because I would have smelled a rat. In fact, there were people walking around.
No, it's because you're smart.
They were pointing. There were people walking around in front of that building, pointing to these FBI plants, including this guy Ray Epps. They were chanting at him, "Fed, Fed, Fed, Fed." They knew that he was in there urging them to go in. He was a provocateur put in there. There were Antifa people in there. These young people in the whole black things. They were in there. They were not. They were not part of that crowd. I saw hundreds of thousands of people that day. They were streaming by me. At the end of his speech, Trump said, "I want you to march to the Capitol and peacefully protest."
Take over. Peacefully take over.
If Trump is so preposterous. If Trump had,
I shouldn't laugh. It's not a matter to laugh.
Can I
at.
finish this sentence, please?
Yes.
If Trump, you know Trump, he doesn't do things halfway. If he had organized an insurrection, and these media scum keep using that word, knowing full well that an attempt to take over the government with no weapons, no organization, that is a preposterous word to use. If he had planned an insurrection, we would know about it. First of all, he asked that 10 to 20,000 National Guard be called out because they were expecting large crowds. Nancy Pelosi turned it down, and she's the one in charge. He wanted 20,000 up to 20,000 National Guardsmen there. They turned it down. You know why? Because they knew that there were provocateurs in that crowd who were going to start trouble. And to call that an insurrection, for the media to continue to this day to say that 5 people were killed is absolutely a lie.
5 people were killed, and then you have the names.
Whoa.
And what, they make up names?
Yeah. No, they
Just
don't
like
have
that?
any names.
Of course they have names. Google it.
How
5
much
people.
you want? I'll bet you.
I don't have money. I don't have money. If
$500.
anything, by the way, I meant to ask you for some money after the show.
$500 says that the one guy, there was a cop who committed suicide, who died of a heart attack the next day, and it was ruled by the coroner that he had.
Did you say 500?
$500. Name the 5 people.
I'll give you $5 if I lose.
There's 2 people who died, and they were both female Trump supporters and both unarmed. This really gets me crazy because you must watch CNN, ABC, CBS. These people lie. The Star's editorial page, which has gotten worse and worse. Their talk about global warming and sea level rise is such gibberish. It's just, it's sad. They've got so many, especially young people, scared to death.
What was it, 2020?
What? No, it was January of 2021.
2021, you're right. Okay.
How many people died on the January 6th demonstration? Or they call
5.
it right? Name them. You can't name because it didn't happen, except for 2.
These are the 5 people who died in the Capitol riot. They're giving it to me. Wait, let's see. We don't want that.
2 people died, both female, unarmed supporters of President Trump.
A police officer beaten, a
Lying.
rider was shot, and
Who?
3 others died during the rampage.
That's not true. What police officer was shot? Name the police
No,
officer.
beaten.
Oh, he was beaten.
A rioter was shot.
2 rioters. The one rioter
And
was shot.
and 3 others died during the rampage.
Oh, yeah, you know, there were 2 elderly people, Trump supporters, who died of heart attacks. There were no people in that riot killed by the rioters. None. The only 2 people killed were killed by the police. They don't even, I guarantee you, they don't even mention this woman Boylan. They said she died of, they told the parents that she died of a drug overdose, and they said, what? She never did drugs. She was lying on the floor, Haim. She had been gassed, tear gassed, and she was gasping for breath. And a female Washington cop, or Capitol cop, was, you can, there's video
Okay,
of,
here they have the pictures of the 5. So what more do you want? Okay,
There's-
so now it's a lie.
Give me their names.
One is Keith Hopt.
Well, how old is he?
He's they don't say. And then the other one is Justin Cave.
Never heard of these names. There were 2 people who died of heart attacks, having nothing to do with this riot. They weren't even at the riot. Haim, they're lying to you. Nobody was
Whatever.
killed.
Okay. The thing is that you say no. Of course, I have it here. But I don't want to take your money. I want to borrow some money.
I will.
Okay. What I'm trying to
They're
say, you
lying.
already answered my question by answering this question when I said, would you have gone in? Would you have been there, one of them? No, you wouldn't. You know why? Because you know better.
That's not
you
the
know
point.
better.
It's not
I mean,
about me.
why would you want to end up like those people on January 6th doing what they were trying to do? Why would you want to be there unless you're up to no good?
First of all, I know why I was there. I was there to protest.
You were there to listen, yes, but you did.
A stolen election, and it was stolen.
Fine, I respect that, but you didn't end up marching on the Capitol.
No, I was
Because you knew better, because you're smart.
First of all, I had no idea they were doing it. Nobody
Good,
knew.
even better.
There were hundreds of people streaming by me as I walked home.
All I'm saying-
None of them even knew. I told you, a friend of mine called me up.
But quickly enough you realized and you got information of what's really happening.
No, I didn't know until I got home and started watching TV. I saw what was going on TV.
You said something about your phone that you got messages.
I got a
and,
message,
Yeah.
and my friend of mine said, did you start the riot? And I said, what riot? There's no riot down
Okay,
there.
so that's what I mean. You were informed that while you were there, but you did not go like them. You weren't there. You were on the section
So
where
what
people
does
came
that- what
to
does-
exercise their right.
What? I don't want to
Because-
talk about me. I want to talk about...
No, because it's you and me and all of us.
So in other words, there were 600,000 people who did not go to the Capitol.
Exactly.
And there were a few hundred who did.
Yes.
Some of whom were provocateurs, infiltrators, no question about it.
Even if 10% were provocateurs, that's the
Julie-
game. Most of them were there in order to cause mayhem.
No, that's not true. There were a lot of
You
people
think
trying
that 500-600 people cannot cause mayhem?
Why are you putting words in my mouth and then arguing against things I didn't say? Then you're talking to
It's
yourself.
a question.
No, the question, you put words in my mouth.
I say, do you think the 400, 500, 600 people that know what they're doing, they're trying to cause mayhem,
Yeah, I watched what they did.
cannot cause mayhem?
There was quite a few of them saying, no, don't do this. Don't do this. He's a Fed. Don't do this. There were lots of people saying, don't go in there. No, it was totally unorganized. Some people went in, a lot didn't. I guarantee you that the provocateur, and there are always some shitheads and troublemakers in a crowd like that, but very, very, very few. And again, who was injured? 2 female, unarmed supporters of President Trump.
You know what? Forget about the Capitol.
You're
You're going to go home, and 2 o'clock in the morning, you have a feeling that someone is walking around your house trying to get in. What would you do? Well, obviously, no, I'm asking you a question. You wouldn't reach for the gun to kill him. You'll call the police first and foremost, correct?
No,
would you do that or not?
No, I would first see who it was, because one night...
Who it was? What was? You cannot see. You just know there's a vague image of someone there out there, and you don't second guess yourself saying, well, maybe he's coming to greet me.
But you just told me that the girl should have been shot.
I am telling
You just
you,
told- you just said the girl
I'm
should
getting.
be
You
shot.
want me to answer that? I didn't say shot. I say
kill.
You can definitely rough him up. Those who trying to cause ill.
No, you can't.
Give me a bit.
When a
So
girl's
you,
lying on
you prefer that
when
our
a girl's lying on the ground, gasping for air, that is not the time that you beat her.
When
with
you
a
go and
stick.
do what they were trying to do, you take under consideration that you're going to get hurt.
You know what they would.
Correct or not?
This is
What do you think? You think it's a lovey-dovey situation?
This is an impossible discussion.
And if they were,
if that kind of behavior,
if there was enough guards and enough people there that are armed, this wouldn't have taken place.
Why weren't there enough guards?
Because they're morons.
Why weren't there?
Because they were not ready.
Why weren't there?
But it's not the case any longer.
Trump wanted them there, and yet they refused his request.
It's not the case any longer.
Well, no, stop. Answer my question.
We learned our lessons, didn't we?
No.
We didn't?
It wasn't they did it.
But now, as we speak, don't you think that it's protected? At least the way it should have been before.
Pelosi was in on it. He had... Answer the question. Trump asks for 10 to 20,000 National Guards. Pelosi says, no, I'm in control of the House.
But that's temporary. That's after this event, they would have gone back to
their... he asked for it beforehand.
Yeah, I know, but not as a permanent force to stay there.
I can't have...
Not as a permanent force.
I can't have this discussion.
This is as aid.
No,
as fortifying...
This was because he knew there were hundreds of thousands of people coming to the Capitol. Hundreds of thousands.
So,
now, why don't
we cannot cry over spilled milk, but now you agree that the situation is a little more secure?
Why don't you... It's only secure if they want it to be. It was a setup. Why don't you ever see films? I was there. I couldn't believe the crowd. I had never seen a crowd like that since the thing at the mall for Martin Luther King or whatever it was. There were so many people. It was amazing, and I was there for 4 hours. The crowd was peaceful the whole morning. In fact, it was a very good-natured crowd in spite of the weather. Here's what the cops were doing. There were very few cops. They were standing inside a hurricane fence right in front of me. I got talking to one guy, and they were like this. It was cold. They had their hands in their, stuffed it to their belts the whole morning, looking around, nothing to do. There was no trouble whatsoever for all 4 hours of that speech.
Yeah, but no one complains about that. We complain about...
They don't even
we
show
complain about a little south from there, the Capitol, with 600 people they're trying to take over, thinking that they're going to really...
They weren't trying to take...
what were they trying to have lunch there, exactly?
Well, one guy sat down... Remember the guy with the horns? He sat down on Pelosi's desk. Now, stupid people like that, there's always going to be a few of them.
You think that that's just a childish game or something? That's what you think took place?
All I'm saying is if Trump had gotten his request, those people would never have gotten anywhere near that building.
Do you agree with me that if for any reason Trump would have decided to call all these people to stop...
How could he call them?
But if he was to, don't you think it would be influential?
No, of course not. Because
don't you think they would listen to him?
How could he? If he went there... He wasn't... They
all had cell phones.
He got in the truck and left. He did not go to the Capitol. If he wanted a riot, he would have gone to the Capitol and said, I want you to go in there and storm that building. That's not what he said. I heard exactly what he said.
His advisors,
he said, I want you to go there.
Including the vice president.
He said, if you're going to go to the Capitol, I want you to go there peacefully to protest.
Yes, but now we're talking after the fact. They're already there. He was advised strongly to release a message and a call for these people to stop doing what they're doing, and he refused. Obviously, he refused.
He had no idea.
So I don't know what to make out of it, other than maybe he thought that it was the right thing to happen.
He knew. He by this time, I'm sure he smelled a rat. He knew he had not provoked it. It's not what he wanted. But let's not even get into Pence, because Pence is a coward and
he was afraid for his life. What?
Please stop.
What? What? You wanna make fun of him?
Please
when someone is scared for their lives?
They never got anywhere near the chamber where they were having the vote. And I'm going to talk. Pence is a punk because he wouldn't. No, he wasn't going to do this.
Because he didn't agree with Trump and he didn't succumb to his demands.
The job, the part of the Constitution that requires the vice president to approve the electors. It's not a ceremonial thing. It's an actual thing. It's not it's become ceremonial because hardly any... Don't forget, there were Democrat congressmen who protested the election of 2000, 2004, all the time. It's been done before.
But he disagreed with the president. What do you want him to say? He disagreed with the president about believing that the elections were stolen. He disagreed.
No, he didn't say that. He said he was going to accept he refused to
And
reject.
by saying that, what does it mean? He means that he doesn't accept the theory that indeed it was stolen.
And that shows what a coward he is, because
Oh my God!
in those 6 states, there was so many irregularities, and many other states, but there was so many irregularities that he could have rejected those electors. This is just a simple constitutional matter. If he had the courage to do it, he should have done his job. I reject these electors. We're going to have investigations in those 6 states to see who the legitimate electors should be. Should they be Trump electors, or should they be Biden
Reggie, you're chewing water and you're wasting your... That's what you're doing. You're chewing water.
No,
You're getting nowhere.
You are
it's
listening
passé,
to
it's already like, you might as well say 50 years ago.
A few hundred people's actions should counteract those of 600,000
That's what you call,
people?
when you don't like the results, then you come up with a story.
No. What the police did, the Capitol Police and the D.C. Police, what they did there was in itself criminal. They let some of them in. They didn't let others in. Some of them they pushed and fought with. Others they didn't. They shot a girl in the back and killed her. And that cop who shot her...
How many times are you going to mention this?
Because that's the outrage.
You mentioned this as if it's the only thing that happened that day in America.
It's the only thing of consequence that happened, except for the other girl who was killed.
What was she doing there?
She was inside the building.
Don't even answer. It's not a question. We know what she was doing there.
Trespassing.
Like the likes of her.
Trespassing.
Big time trespassing.
No, she was
big time.
She was climbing through a window. I think she was trying to get out of there, and they shot her in the back.
You said the shoulder.
Right here, the back of the shoulder. Went right through and went up into her neck. Killed her. And the other girl was killed, suffocated to death, but they said she died of a drug overdose, even though they never allowed an autopsy to be done. It was a lie. She died of strangulation.
My point is, you and I, you wouldn't find us there, correct? And there's a good reason why. There's a good reason why. Because we know better. Because we're smart, we're intelligent.
I'm not defending.
We know the consequences.
I'm not defending the actions of the stupid few.
Okay, good. The stupid few
I'm protesting the actions of the murderers.
Runs very deep.
There are 2 murderers in that crowd, and neither one of them has even been charged, including the cop who is on videotape shooting this woman. They know who he is. And he has a bad record, by the way. He has a very bad record as a cop. Yeah.
Okay.
This is really crazy.
I think.
But anyway,
this
book, I urge every parent in the country to read this book. Battle for the American Mind, because the American student's mind is being poisoned by Howard Zinn's textbook. It's absolute poison. He's a bad man. He's dead now, but he was a bad, bad man.
Yes. But his books are alive. What are you going to do about it?
You
think they're going to go away? They're not going to go away.
They should go away. I'm telling parents, if parents read his book, they will demand that it be thrown out of school. It is so anti-American that even a left-winger like you would be appalled.
He's titling me as a left-winger.
You believe this gibberish that you hear. You believe, listen, you are believing this. You asked about the January 6th commission. You are willing to believe people like Adam Schiff, who lied about every single thing that they accused Trump of, when he Russia collusion. Yes, do you have evidence that Trump actually colluded with them? Yes, we have evidence. It will be out soon. It will be out. This went on for 3 years.
We're talking about the invasion on January 6th. I'm not talking about. I didn't say that. I didn't say the investigation of Trump. I didn't say that I agree with that investigation. I think it was a waste of time and money of the American people. But we're talking about January 6th, not about them, investigating Trump years before that.
I'm talking about the investigation of January 6th. You're willing to. Schiff was on that panel too. You're willing to believe a guy who's lied about everything beforehand? I don't. I wouldn't. I think you're not that foolish. He lied about everything.
Even if they're all completely combined, indeed lied, still what we have as evidence in public access, in the hands of the public,
they're talking
speaks
about
for itself.
Would you call it an insurrection?
I will call it insurrection in addition to other names. In addition to other names.
What constitutes?
Lynching freedom. That's what they did. They lynched freedom.
Google up the word insurrection.
Yeah.
Google it. What are you going to find?
I will find just enough.
You're not going to find a few
Even if
people.
10% of what I need is there, it's enough.
Stop. This is
All I'm saying is that lynching democracy and lynching freedom, that's what they did. They did. Don't tell me not.
What about the riots of 2020 when they attacked the church across the street from the White House? 2.5 days they rioted. They set that church on fire. The first day, the president's family.
Trump put a stop to it.
It lasted.
Did he or didn't he?
It lasted 2.5 days. What do you mean they put a stop to it?
Trump himself made sure that it's going to be.
Bull. Dozens of Secret Service agents and D.C. police were injured in that riot. Now, name one investigation or one prosecution. Name one. None. And that was just one of hundreds. There were hundreds and hundreds of riots all across the country. Where are the prosecutions? Where are the prosecutions? That church was, I think, built in 1820-something. It's considered a national landmark. They tried to burn it down. They set it on fire. Where are the investigations? We know who they were. They were Antifa and these other lowlifes. You have a very selective sense of outrage. Now you got my tongue all. Now I'm gonna. You set me back a whole day.
No, you're actually improving. You're leveling the planes, as they say, of your mouth.
I can't believe how blind you are to this whole thing.
Okay, that's my good old friend Reginald Cornelia, and I'm happy to have him here with me, and to mention that it is October 6th, year 2022, on a Thursday afternoon. And I'm happy to see you. You know, I'm happy
I'm happy to be here.
Except that what? What did you expect?
Well, I should.
Okay, maybe we should let's just take a poetic ride.
Yeah. By the way, we started off on a nice note. We're talking about nice poems that we had heard recently. Tommy LaGrasse's poem I thought was really excellent. And also, you know what was another excellent part of that service?
What?
Mama Lee and her daughter Rose, when they sang.
They did so well. They did so well. They did so well. You're right. They were really performing.
Oof.
They were really performing.
It's like I want them to sing at my funeral. I don't want to. You know what happened to me?
What?
Did you ever hear this? Hear of this store, Uncle Giuseppe's? It's an Italian food emporium. There's 3 of them now, up island. And I had to go for a VA medical test.
Well, what is it? What is the name of it? I'm sorry.
Uncle Giuseppe's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anyway, I had to go for this medical thing. This is back in the spring. And I get out and it's lunchtime. So I see this building. It says Uncle Giuseppe's. And I vaguely had heard about it being a food place, but it looked like a Walmart warehouse. It didn't look like. But I see these women coming out with big bags full of food. So I go in, and I'm telling you, I was immediately, I think I almost swooned. The smells, visually, it was like a food museum. It was with beautiful things laid out all over the place. I said, this is unbelievable. I want one of everything in here. So I walked over to the guy at the counter, and I said, he says, hey, hi, how you doing, and what can I do for you? I said, can I have my wake here? I want my friends to be happy when at my wake. He said, you got a date?
Are you chewing? Are you chewing a gum or something?
It's not gum. It's cotton. You don't want to know. Yeah. Yeah, really. This is Well, you got me all worked up now. I've chewed the hell out of it. The lies that I can't believe that you're willing to believe all the lies they're telling about that day. They're lying about everything. The parents of these dead girls cannot get information. People are being kept in jail with no charge, 18 months now. No charge. Some of them have been kept in solitary confinement. Haim, this is the scary part. This is Soviet.
The scary part
this is
they were there doing what they were doing.
No,
that's
KG.
The scary part.
These are some people were just.
That's the scary part.
Some people didn't do anything except stand in front of that building.
I bet you they took under consideration that that's exactly what's going to happen to them if they will fail.
KGB.
If they'll get caught.
This is KGB.
What are you surprised about?
In the American court system, you get arrested, you get charged, you have a trial. These people have not even, some of them are still in solitary confinement. This is KGB.
You didn't complain when they did that to in Guantanamo.
By the way,
You didn't
Guantanamo
complain.
terrorists.
Yeah, you didn't complain.
Please.
Why? Because they deserve it, and these people don't deserve it.
Please, no, they don't. They're American citizens. The people in Guantanamo, the people in
If they're
Guantanamo.
dangerous people and they're American, we should forgive them.
Oh, stop.
I don't get it.
You're comparing.
I don't get your rationale.
Throwing terrorists.
Both of them are criminals.
How many weapons were confiscated at that demonstration?
They had stashes
None.
and stashes.
None.
Stashes.
None. Where? Show me.
Prepared.
None.
And they proved
none.
it already.
There were none.
Okay.
None.
Okay.
There were none. Believe me, they wanted to find
So with knives and axes and all this, you cannot
Even
kill
I
people.
didn't have a weapon with me.
You cannot kill people with axes and knives, yeah, or sticks.
They didn't have anything.
Oh yeah.
There were no weapons found on any of the people that they arrested, or anybody else for that matter. None. None were brandished.
And saying that we're going to hang Pelosi in the piazza, that was okay?
So you're comparing Americans who go to a demonstration.
That's not a demonstration. Those who ended up in the Capitol?
Now, what about the people who rioted all during 2020? Shouldn't they
How is it serving the purpose of our discussion of the...
There were hundreds of riots, very serious riots. Whole buildings burned down, police stations invaded, police cars overturned, cops killed, cops had bricks thrown at them, frozen water bottles thrown at them. Not one prosecution. Don't they deserve to be thrown in a hoosegow with no solitary confinement too? Where's your outrage about that? Haim, please. You sound like the most ignorant left-wing liberal I know you, and I know you're not. I know you're not that stupid.
Your descriptions of me.
You sound like all the people who are totally willing to overlook the riots of 2020.
I want to throw...
What about the rioters of 2020? What should be done to them? What should be done to them? Should they be shot? Should they be beaten? Should they be put in solitary confinement?
Actually, this is...
No, you gotta answer my question.
I cannot win with you. I cannot win with you. Forget about it. You're stronger than me.
You're wrong.
You're stronger than me.
Why can't you...
All I'm trying to tell you is this. The small group that ended up in the Capitol, they're up to no good, they were dangerous. So what? We should have just sit back and allowed them to do whatever it is without weapons?
Nothing.
As if people cannot cause damage? And,
What about...
they had an extensive plan. This was the beginning of the plan. And they got nowhere. Lucky for us, they got nowhere.
There was no plan. Nobody's even attempted... Even your January 6th commission has not... every effort they've made to make it sound like it was organized has failed because there isn't...
Why did the senators hide?
No, I want
Why did they fear for their lives? Why? Tell me.
They didn't fear
because they were imagining.
They never got anywhere near them. The woman.
But why did they feel? They heard the crowd and the mob. They heard the.
Kamala Harris said she was in the building. AOC said, and they were lying.
Listen,
they were lying.
I'm not talking about Kamala. I'm talking about the senators when they were there ran for their lives.
No, they didn't.
Oh yes, to hide in a safe place. Because we should live in a country where our senators would have to run for their lives and fear for their lives because there's a group that's chasing their ass. This is what you want in this country?
That's a lie. What you just said is a complete lie.
And then we are next.
What you said is a complete lie.
And then you and I are next.
No, but you don't have these...
How are you going to defend yourself when 200 people charging at you to kill you?
What about the thousands of people who rioted in New York City?
I'm telling you now an unfoldment of this scenario. So now it's going to be our turn.
No.
And then you're going to say, but why are you chasing me? I'm a nobody. I did nothing. They said, we don't need reasons for that. We just want to kill people.
Where was your outrage for the 2020 rioters? Where was it?
This is not going to get you anywhere trying to get into that.
No. Stop.
It was misfortunate, but it's not taking anything away from the severity of January 6th.
I'm going to leave. This is worthless.
2020.
This is worthless.
Does not take away
hundreds of
anything from the severity of January 6th.
Where's your double?
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Where's your sympathy?
I don't know. I don't have an answer. What happened?
Where's your sympathy for the shopkeepers who were burned out of business, for the cops who were injured or killed?
I don't support that. First of all, I didn't think something right happened.
There were rapes. Murders,
I agree. And I don't have answers.
Yeah, of course you don't.
But it doesn't mean that when we discuss January 6th,
Why
it's clear what happened.
Why the selective prosecution? You have no answer because there is no answer.
For me, I don't care persecution or not. The facts are so clear and
No, they're
so
not.
evident.
No, they're not. We don't. No, you don't. There's no evidence. The reason there's no evidence been brought forth that there were infiltrators in that January 6th demonstration is because it was a kangaroo court. There were no witnesses for the opposite. These people have half of them haven't even been brought to trial yet. They're accused of some of them haven't even been accused. They're just rotting in jails.
It's called deterrence. Have you heard this word in English?
Yeah, in the KGB. That's how the KGB did it.
You wanna make fun of it now? That's fine.
You know what they call the FBI now?
I don't want to guess even.
The Fascist Bureau of Intimidation.
Of intimidation.
They come in people who are protested at a school board meeting get raided at 12 o'clock at night right in front of their families by the FBI SWAT teams. This is going on all over the country. They've firebombed or attacked in other ways churches and pro-life organizations. Nothing. No news. No prosecutions. Nothing. This is KGB. This is Soviet-style justice. Is a one-way street.
I wanted to throw you away something that I just found. Don't even ask me.
Wow, you really got I can't believe that you picked on this issue.
No, I didn't pick.
This is the ongoing threat. Howard Zinn's book is the ongoing threat to your country. Your children are going to be taught with that textbook, and they're going to learn a poisonous view of America. When they get to high school, they're going to see this book, and they're going to get a poisonous view of this country, a great country.
Okay, so this is called the fear of soft edges.
Like on my teeth? Oh, God. I can't believe you got me. This is one topic you got. It's so unjust. The whole thing is the greatest injustice I've ever seen in my life.
But I think we concluded it in more ways than one.
Who killed Jane Boyland, whatever her first name was?
I'm going to read you the poem with your permission. Do you want? Or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It says,
Oof.
That wasn't there the day before. Self-serving.
This thing is too close to me.
Self-serving. In the quest for self-regard, minus the fear of soft edges.
Minus the fear of soft edges. Well, I like that line.
Collapsing into the void, it needed the approval of the watching eyes, a self-made big brother, confused and incapable of spying on the soft belly of muscles, refined and speaking the language of punishment, inflicting smooth secrets. It is a characteristic of vibrant profiles, supportive of speaking for the personality vouchers. It was easy to externalize a swift support of personality, not any longer present, to speak a language of agreements and expansions, minus the sense of urgency. It's semi-legible, no?
It's easier for me to understand when I read it.
Yeah, I know, and
No, I can't talk anymore because I can feel I've already got this thing agitated in my mouth. You got me all worked up because you picked the one topic that makes me completely frightened for the future of this country because this is KGB style.
This is called white pain.
White who?
White pain.
Spain?
Pain.
Pain. White pain.
Yeah. Huh?
Blinding pain. White pain.
No, white. The race white.
White pain. Oh my God.
So, a free-for-all temper of sealed anger. It runs as if the journey turns longer. Where are you, color of skin?
Where are you what?
Color of skin.
Oh, no.
Where are you, color of skin? It's your turn to become keen, lower under the sliding trip, to protest. Pray lastly you remember the slim offset. Today it's our celebration of an esteem bravely pointing towards the light beam. So, an awareness preaching selectively, I was the first to last the horror effectively. It's not the pain that turns white, it's not the black that turns pain. You seem puzzled. I don't understand it either.
Have you got anything about tooth pain?
It's just, actually, you can implement some of it.
Or about the pain and anguish I'm feeling about your double standard. I didn't know you had a double standard like this.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? There's one standard for the January 6 people and another standard for the thousands and thousands of murderers and looters.
How did you get to that conclusion? Only God knows. How did you get to that conclusion?
Because of what you just said.
What did I say?
You don't care about the 2020 rioters, but you do care about
No, I said
these.
I don't know. You asked me and I said I don't know.
How do you not know?
Because you say, tell me what happened there. How come this, how come that? I have no answers. I really don't.
You have no idea. They burned down buildings. Looted,
I don't approve of what happened there.
So what should be done to them?
Well, if we catch them, they need to be
What
prosecuted.
about if we don't try to catch them?
Not try to catch them?
They're not trying to catch them. There's no
And
one.
you know that based on what
Because
source?
there would be trials going on around the country. There would be prosecutions. There would be hearings and investigations by the FBI and by these other. But there aren't. There aren't any, because they are. We have turned into.
Maybe you can read this. Can you read this?
I don't think so.
Maybe I should put more light for you here.
It's not light. It's let me see. I got my magnifier with me, but not a long one.
I forgot about.
No, really, I got my tongue all agitated now. Jesus, I knew I shouldn't have done this.
Is it too much?
Yeah, I don't think I should do them anymore.
Okay, so we have what? We have another 7 minutes. And
Injury
we're done.
timeout.
Oh, injury timeout. So this is called Born. This time, it was a ringing sound. A spread clone. I thought a while back into the hunger for knowledge, fighting to find a ratio to that which feels alone. Nearby the company of personal pledge. Height and all measures at no risk if the thought being spelled. Barking lower that the night of roots so resolve free. Paper cut, the thinnest, far from the pointing paralleled, way back blended as a hip, portion 2-3. This is oh my God! This is actually.
You got lost in your.
No,
own
I
thoughts.
didn't. I didn't because I read ahead of myself. You know. How about we? This is a little too confusing. How about we read now? No, you can read that our beloved poem.
Oh, that poem. Yeah.
Because we
By
have.
the way, I just want to mention one other book, though. This book is. These guys have written books about elections.
Our broken elections.
These guys have written books about stolen elections since 1994, and they've updated. This time was so outrageous that they wrote this book called Broken Elections. Two researchers, John Fund and Hans von Spakovsky. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. This book is another one you should read, full of facts, figures, how the left has changed the way we vote, and is continuing to try to make sure that elections process.
What do you think is going to happen
Well,
in
this coming
November?
election?
Yeah,
Well, it depends. I think the Republicans will win if they don't steal it. But the fact is that these Republican legislators, for the most part, have been too cowardly to change the procedures that allowed this to happen. For instance, election law, according to Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution, can only be changed by state legislators, not by governors, not by attorney generals or attorneys general, you're supposed to say, not by anybody, but the state legislatures. And very few states, a few states have made some changes, but not enough. And you'll see, there's going to be problems.
Okay, go for it.
Because people are losing faith. I don't have faith in the elections anymore. Especially if they do all these mail-in ballots. They mailed out more ballots in some states than there were registered voters. That means it's all these ballots floating around. I'm sure you didn't watch the movie 2,000 Mules, did you? The movie made by Dinesh D'Souza. I have a copy in the car. I'll let you borrow it. You watch it.
Okay.
You watch it, and then you tell me that election wasn't stolen. All right, here we go. This is the land where hate should die. No feuds of faith, no spleen of race, no darkly brooding fear should try beneath our flag to find a place. Lo, every people here has sent its sons to answer freedom's call. Their lifeblood is the strong cement that builds and binds the nation's wall. This is the land where hate should die. Though dear to me my faith and shrine, I serve my country well when I respect beliefs that are not mine. He little loves his land who casts upon his neighbor's word a doubt, or cite the wrongs of ages past from present rights to bar him out. This is the land where hate should die. This is the land where strife should cease, where foul, suspicious fear should fly before our flag of light and peace. So let us purge from poisoned thought that service to the state we give, and so be worthy as we ought of this great land in which we live. In which we live.
Yeah, I love it. That's a great time. I missed reciting this poem. Yeah.
So timely. Yeah.
So hey, listen, I'm going to give you a break. It's 55 minutes that we've been on the air, and I'm glad you're hearing me. I hope that you're going to resolve the Spain issue. And I don't understand why you were not at the dentist like today to take care of it.
I've got an appointment tomorrow.
Oh, good. So
no, they've been working on it, but it's a long, boring dental.
Well, we wish you recovery and a pain-free reality. But I'm not going to invite you again, because if you're going to resolve this issue, then you're going to come with vigor and drown me with your ocean of words.
All things to bring up. I shouldn't have let you get me into that. But,
no, that's okay. We did well.
I'm not apologizing for what I said.
We did well. Let me just say we're going to be here tomorrow as much as we were here yesterday, and as much as we're here this day, afternoon of
Should I tell them about the rumor, though? The rumor is I might have my own show at some point.
Yeah, definitely. The October 6th, year 2022, on Thursday afternoon, here with the Hello Show. And my name is Haim Mizrahi, and thank you to my guest, Reginald Cornelia. I give you the last word.
Well, thank you for inviting me. And in spite of the contentious nature of the thing, I still love you as a brother. I still pray for you, and although my hopes for you have somewhat diminished after today.
I don't believe you'll do that.
I might end up with my own little.
What do you mean you might? You will.
Yeah. Well, if I can get this thing fixed.
You scheduled to.
I can't talk like this.
Yeah, but sooner than later. Have me as your first guest, and I'll encourage you.
As what?
As your first guest.
Oh, well, I promised you I would.
And then I'll invade you like all those who stormed the Capitol. I'll storm your show.
Except I have control, yeah.
I come with flags, Biden.
Hey, as long as you're non-violent, that's okay with
Yes,
me.
oh yes. Good luck with that. I'll do everything in my power to break you in if I can.
No, I appreciate all.
And I gave you all the rehearsals you need.
You've given
10
me,
years.
You've given me the opportunity to speak out. There aren't many voices from my side.
No, there aren't. So we cannot. Nobody can complain that we're not fair here with the Hello Show. So.
Oh God, this is.